Time for another Roo Tale. I'm going to tell you today about a guy I used to work with called TJ. And TJ and I had spent quite a bit of time working together for this one particular company. This was before I ever went to D&E. And then I left that company, came to D&E, and he then continued with the same company. And they were doing some work at a facility here locally. And while they were working there, he was handling the forklift. Good guy, worked hard, liked to get things done, liked to make things happen. And in this particular case, he, I believe, pretty much just got ahead of himself and did something that cost very dearly. He was driving a forklift, extendable boom forklift, all-terrain, had a piece of pipe on there, and he got it out of level, badly out of level. He was trying to get someplace on a pitch, side of an embankment, and when he did, he got the all-terrain forklift so badly out of balance that the load started to slide off. A piece of pipe started to slide off, and he tried to correct it, and he lost control really of the situation entirely, and the forklift started to tilt over and was obviously going over, and he committed what really probably is one of the cardinal errors that you can commit in a situation like that. Apparently didn't have his seat belt on, and when he went over and started to go over, he thought he could get away from it, and so he bailed out of the driver's seat, out of the cage of the forklift. And when he did, he got in such a position that the boom of the forklift flipped over and it caught him and crushed his head, and dead right there immediately. And so that was his error, was that when he was in the forklift, he apparently wasn't belted in, went over, tried to bail out. When he tried to bail out, the boom caught his head and crushed his head and killed him instantly. Now, here's what you need to learn. First of all, when you are driving a forklift, make sure to maintain it on as level a ground as possible. That's difficult. We have job sites that go up and down, but we work to make sure that when you're moving anything with a piece of equipment like a forklift like that, try to get it and keep it on as level a ground as possible. The other thing is that if things start to go bad under those circumstances, really, truthfully, the safest place for you to be is still inside the cab. If you're belted in and you're inside the roll cage, you're more than likely going to come off much better than if you try to jump out and beat the piece of equipment, even if it is flipping over. So realize that that's important, and set it in your mind that bailing out is not the smartest option. Get yourself in the roll cage. These roll cages are meant to sustain impact, and they're meant to protect you under circumstances like I'm describing. So if you find yourself where he found himself, rather than trying to bail out and getting away from the piece of equipment, stay in there, stay tight where you are. When it flips over or when it lays down on its side, there's going to be an easier method of getting you out than if you try to jump out and get away from it. So in this particular case, we lost a good man, and it's too bad. But here's the lesson to learn from that. Try to maintain your equipment on level ground, and if by any chance or it starts to go over, don't try to bail out, don't try to run away from it. Don't end up like TJ It was a sad story, family man, and they have to do without him because of that particular situation. So keep it in mind. We all use this kind of equipment all the time. Try to remember, keep on level ground, don't bail out.